Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to make a quick video on YFII or YFI2, whatever it is that people want to call it. So, I've mentioned it a few times in the past, and the way I look to make some of my best, most successful trades is to buy the bottom. Alright, so buying in at the bottom of an area, and again, it is an area, it's an accumulation area. I did it with, well, I mean, if you watch my channel you'll know, but just a quick list of things that we bought at the bottom at in accumulation. We've got EOS, we've got XRP, we've got Holochain, we've got Harmony One, FET, Seller. We got all those at the bottom. There will be more. I can't remember. SXP. We more or less got that at the bottom as well, and they all have different signatures. But what they generally suggest is at the bottom of those areas, it's a bit of a dicey area to buy at. It's a bit scary because no one else is really interested. It's not particularly popular. In fact, I would argue that it's very unpopular because when I make these videos at the time, I get a lot of people saying, "I'm an idiot. You bought the top. It's going down. It's a scam coin." And I'm like, well, thanks for that, but I'm buying into it at a bottom accumulation zone, so I'm not saying it's going to go up immediately, but what I am saying is that the risk to reward at this point now far outweighs any risk. But there's clearly still risk, especially when no one's buying. For example, when I bought into Holochain, for instance, literally the volume on that token was about 500,000 24-hour trading volume. And when I made my purchase, it wasn't enormous, but it was big enough to make a dent on the 15-minute chart. I made my own candle wick, which scared me, to be honest. I was like, oh my god, have I gone too hard on this one? But it turned out to be okay. In fact, it turned out to be one of the best trades of the year. I think it is so far the best trade of the year. It's about a 35x I did from that one. Now this one is not going to be a 35x. This one, we could look at the fib extensions and we could say, well, and I might put on the thumbnail that YFI2 is going to $38,631.19. But that's not really what we do with a fib extension. I mean, fib extensions, I suppose you could look at them as targets. They are also mainly resistances, not particularly looking for a trade that's going to take me all the way up to there. But what I am looking at doing is limiting my risk to reward. And if we have a look at the way that this works on the daily here, on the weekly, we have had pumps and we've come back down from them. We can't sustain the price above this whole red area, the blood seller, the 236. That is under there is accumulation, but the good thing we can see is this 20 weekly moving average is being basically respected after every dump. We have a pretty disappointing run, but that's what you expect in an accumulation phase. It's not going to be exciting. It's going to be painful. It's going to be slow. The idea is you ride it out for the long term. Those who follow me doing the EOS videos will see that now. Again, people say, "Oh, what's going on with EOS, man? It's not moving." Oh, and I say, yeah, I know. It's you're buying it at the bottom here. My average price when I was making those videos is about $2.50. So at the moment it's doing pretty well. It's doing okay. There's still plenty more to go, and the beauty of doing something like that is that you don't see immediate returns because you're buying when it's unpopular. No one else is buying, so the price is unable to go up. But what will happen always, or seems to happen for me anyway, when I buy into these accumulation zones, is that you have to sit on them and you have to wait. You have to be patient. So you have to trust your own analysis, and then when it starts going up, basically every time your entry point goes up by that amount, you've doubled your investment. So in the case of XRP, my rough entry price was, we'll just call it about 25 cents. So every time XRP goes up by 25 cents, my investment overall goes up again by that amount. Holochain was amazing, really. I mean that investment, well, that went up ridiculously. So what we're looking to do here is the same kind of vibe, and there's not many opportunities out there. And again, I bet you no one will watch this video now, and then in over the year when this plays out, everyone will be watching it back and leaving comments on there going, "Whoever watched this at the time, well done. This guy called it." But I bet you the majority of the comments I'll be getting here will be telling me I'm an idiot and to buy something that's already going up, like Ethereum. Buy Ethereum. It's up 10% today. Don't buy this. It's down. And alright, okay. Look, in order to do your 5, 10, 20, 100 X's, you do have to buy the bottom. Hindsight's always 20/20, and you can look back at some coins and go, that did a 10x. But who did do the 10x? I bet you it wasn't the majority of people. I bet it was the people who bought at the bottom. waiting it out, just like the Bitcoin bottom in 2018 into 19. Those are the people who are making the big money because they were the ones who bought Bitcoin when it was unpopular. You know, they bought when it was on its ass. They bought when it was $3,000-$4,000. Not me. You know, I'm not one of those people that buys the absolute bottom, but I look for certain precursors to find if there is signs of strength. So for Bitcoin, for instance, I bought it around about $4,000. For this, I've been staggering my entries around this 20 weekly. Every time we've come down to test it, since we've seen that we can close above it, I buy more. This seems to be the support zone at the moment, around about 2,260. So again, we've established that we're in an accumulation phase. We've established that we've got a strong level of support on the weekly. None of this is bullish, for instance, right now. It's accumulation. But what we do see, we see a nice rising formation with the RSI. That's okay. There's nothing bearish about that. But if we go to the Satoshi pairings, it looks a lot worse. Very, very bearish chart on all time frames. But we do see, even though we're getting lower lows and lower highs, we're actually getting the opposite of that on the RSI. We're getting bullish divergence on the weekly RSI. We've got a long way to go on this one, and if this one does play out the way I expect it to, it's going to be pretty good. We've even had money pouring into this, staggering into this bit by bit by bit on the weekly as well. So, and the Bollinger Bands are pinching very tightly here, very, very tightly. It's not that tight, really, if you get down to the nitty-gritty. It's about 70%, to be honest with you, from the bottom to the top, which again isn't particularly tight, but it is showing that there is going to be some form of apex take place on this chart, on this token, at some point in the not too distant future, maybe a few months down the line. Not saying anything is going to happen immediately. And again, nothing about this chart is particularly bullish on any of these time frames, and it's not going to be bullish until the trend begins. So again, I'm putting it out there, I'm putting it to you that there's not many opportunities to buy the bottom. This might be one of those. This is one that I'm willing to take a risk on, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying that you're going to wake up tomorrow with 20 or 100% gains. Not today, you're not. And it might never happen. This is different to the vast majority of coins that I do this analysis on, because it's not a very old coin, and it could just break down. But again, my usual strategy is to do these buy these bottoms in these accumulation zones and then sit and wait. And that's what I have been doing, and this is what I will continue to do, because I see this as one of the only tokens out there that I've looked at anyway that is still accumulating at a low level and does have a bit more upside to go. And if we balance out, the risk to reward, we have, from the price where we're at today, we could potentially fall down to 62, to the tune of 62% loss. But if we were to just do a recovery of where our previous high was, that's 288%. So that is a good risk to reward over the period of a year. I'm okay with that. I'm happy to try that one out. But again, I'm not harvesting my kidneys to put into this. I'm not selling my children on eBay. This is money that I'm willing to risk on something which is a risky asset. Crypto in general is a risky business, and if you want to increase your risk, you go into things like this. But again, this is a high risk asset at a relatively low risk zone. So I'm okay with taking that risk. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. But thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.